Welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest tonight is a journalist and former co-host of The Circus. She now anchors Alex Wagner Tonight on MSNBC. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Alex Wagner. Okay, here we go.
Oh, boy.
It's always love to have you on. I always enjoy talking to you.
Always love to be here.
You explain what's going on in the news and politics so well, but there's so much to catch up on right now. Like we've been in overdrive, I feel like, for years, but now we've gone to hyperdrive in the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, Joe Biden was the nominee.
I know.
Can you friggin' believe it, Alex Wagner?
What's going on?
That's exactly. It's a general question, but first of all, did you hear about that you can have bones in your boneless chicken wings?
I know.
In Ohio?
Let's not bury the lead.
Okay, so what are you excited about this change of the election story?
I mean, Stephen, yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes, I'm excited. I will say I thought maybe this would be a chill summer of, like, taking the kids to soccer camp, like kicking back with a white wine spritzer, maybe a little bit early. No. It has been, for journalists, it's been an exhilarating time. Mm-hmm. For members of a democracy that we hope to be functioning, it has been a thrilling time.
Right.
But it's also been exhausting, and I think that we still haven't even processed what exactly is happening to us as a country, right? I mean, to go from an attempted assassination, which is a historic low for the country, right, to what is just an extraordinary act by a man, Joe Biden, but also a party in terms of coming together and trying to do what the party thinks is truly best for the country, gives you real hope in a democracy, right? And not just because strategically it's better for Democrats, but it's also, I think, for all of us who lived through the Trump years, there was a real question about kind of where we were going as a country, right? Like,
what's on the other side of this?
What's on the other side of this? Are we edging towards a more perfect union, or are we a country in reverse? Is Donald Trump the future or the past? Is he an aberration or is he the new norm? Is Barack Obama the future or an aberration? And I think when you see what's happening here, it gives hope that actually maybe Trump is the aberration and that Barack Obama and Kamala Harris represent the future of the United States.
Well, now it seems 3 weeks later, now it seems clear that the courageous decision that Joe Biden made to step aside, because as the most powerful man in the world, no one could force him to do anything.
Yeah.
That decision he made was clearly the right decision to make. Are you surprised how well this has gone for the Kamala campaign in 3 weeks? Because they came out of the gate like a rocket.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely am. But
did you think that was going to happen?
No.
Or he was like, who knows?
No. And I got into lots of arguments with strategists on both sides who would say, well, the unknown is an X factor that is too risky. It'll be mayhem, because that old adage is Democrats need to fall in love and Republicans fall in line. That has proven to be absolutely untrue. Democrats fell the hell in line. And I don't think, and by the way, I don't think that's not to shortchange the genuine enthusiasm that people feel. And it's across the country. It is electric in a way that I think nobody understood it would be. And it's across, subsections of the electorate that I think nobody really understood could be moved in the way they have by Kamala Harris's story, in part because of 2020, and in part because Donald Trump was elected president and is once again the Republican nominee. I think a lot of people had sort of given up on Americans looking for, something different and embracing someone that didn't necessarily look like them.
And this is a long overdue shot of oxygen into our political conversation too, because the first night after the switch was made from Biden to Kamala Harris on the monologue, I just started dancing around at one point. I turned to the camera and I said, this is the dance of a man who has something new to talk about for the first time in 5 years.
Totally. And that is boneless chicken can have bones in it.
Yes. We'll get there someday. Now, let's talk about Chicago. You're going to be out there?
I'm going to be there because I just like sport peppers and poppy seed buns. That's a Chicago hot dog.
Are you a Chicago dog fan? Do you eat Chicago dogs?
Man. I mean, it's the only thing I like better in Chicago than New York, but I do.
You don't care for deep dish?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
Keep that to yourself.
I like a Neapolitan slice. I mean, you know, I'm sorry.
So Monday is going to be Biden night, evidently.
Yeah.
That is, he's speaking. I think Secretary Clinton is probably speaking that night on Monday. Do you have an idea of how they're going to be celebrating Joe?
There is a lot that is. There is a lot that is going to remain probably unreported about the sort of machinations to.
Like what? Go ahead and report
Yeah,
it.
nobody's listening.
Report it. Come on, what it is. Why? Who do you think actually got him out? Who do you think it was who put the shape charge under Joe and got him out of there?
I think there was.
Was it Obama? Did Obama do it? Was it Clinton? Tell me who did it. You know who did it. You're one of those liberal MSNBC things. You got the newsletter. Did you do it? Did you go up to Camp David with a 40-foot pry bar and pop him out of there like a Lego?
I wasn't at soccer camp, I'll tell you that much, Stephen.
Listen, people are wondering what is, because he said the Lord God. If the Lord God came down to tell him to leave, so who was it?
Listen, I think there was more happening behind the scenes than the public will probably hear about. There is an inner sanctum of Democratic politics where a lot of powerful people are trying to take credit for this, but they don't want to talk about it publicly because they are very, very, very acutely aware of how difficult this has been for Joe Biden. And by the way, it remains difficult, and which is totally understandable. The man made the hardest decision you can make in American politics. And, you know, he's been vindicated, I think, by the fact that Kamala Harris has just created this wave of momentum. But it's also hard to see your replacement do so much better than you. I think Joe Biden is going to bring it with a capital B at the convention. I think we're going to see State of the Union Joe Biden. I think he is going to show the country that he is still, damn it, Joe Biden. And it's been, I mean, look, it's...
He's going to nail his floor routine.
I think he is going to nail his floor routine because I think it's really important to him. Look, he's good at these these kind of high stakes speeches. He can nail it, and I think he will, and I think he has every reason to. But as far as who edged him out, I think that that is a conversation that you're not going to really hear publicly for good reason, right? It's to some degree, I think, to protect Joe Biden from the sort of the ugliness of the fact that a lot of people wanted him to leave before he was ready to. But at the end of the day, the person that got him out is Joe Biden. He's the guy that ultimately decided, you know?
And for that, he deserves all
of
the praise in the world.
Yeah.
Yes, pick great. But don't go away. We'll be right back with more Alex Wagner, everybody.